pass the damn salt, please. Chapter 36, The Party, Rachel and Riley, Part 12. Oh my God, will you look at those fingernails? It is simply a wonder those women have any teeth left at all, with all the nail biting they do, said Riley. Now hush and be nice. Someone might hear you, said Rachel. No, seriously, I really see what you meant. They look simply hideous. Quick, hide your hands, dear. Here comes our host. Why, hello, Ted. Thanks for the invitation, said Riley. Glad you could make it, Riley. I don't know if you met Karen, said Ted. Oh yeah, we have a couple of times, but Karen, I don't know if you have met Rachel, said Riley. No, I don't think I have. So nice to meet you, Rachel, said Karen. Nice to meet you too, said Rachel. So, what were you two giggling so madly about here in the corner? Said Karen. Laughter. Well, first of all, as a guy, I would object to the gerund giggling to describe what we were doing, said Riley. Snickering, maybe, said Ted. Laughter. Manly snickering, maybe in Riley's case. For me, I think that sophisticated giggling would fit the bill quite nicely. So it's the adjective that makes the phrase Rachel, said Karen. So it's the adjective that makes the phrase Rachel, said Karen, as it does in so many other parts of speech, said Rachel. And life, don't forget life, said Riley. And don't forget the original question, you two. What were you snickering about here in the corner? Said Ted. Oh, said Riley. Oh, by the way, Karen, how is your Facebook page these days? Said Rachel. Riley mentioned my Facebook page to you? How sweet, said Karen. Karen is a musician, and she has quite a few friends, but that still doesn't explain the snickering, said Ted. This, dear, is why Ted is the rising star in the claims department. This dogged determination. Once he sinks his teeth into something, it's as good as answered, said Riley. Like Patches and a chew bone. Patches is our dog, said Rachel. Well, Ted, if you must know, We were discussing toilet paper, said Riley. We were? Said Rachel. Yes, honey, toilet paper, said Riley. Pray, tell, go on, said Karen. Well, as you know, fourth-rate comedians divide the world into two distinct groups that they postulate are in two entirely distinct groups. Distinctly, said Riley. I think they got the distinct part, dear, said Rachel. And the divided, said Karen. Go on, said Ted. Every comedian who has no talent has as part of their War of the Sexes routine that 1. Men always leave the toilet seat up, and 2. In every relationship, one person has the toilet paper rolling from the top, said Riley, and the other person has the toilet paper rolling from the bottom, said Rachel. Thank you for paying attention, dear. Now, while this particular observation has no basis in reality that I have ever noted, it is universally noted in all kinds of routines, and while it might have been mildly amusing the first time it was noted, back in the late 16th century, I believe, said Riley, or the early 17th, the historical record is not entirely clear on this point, said Rachel. No, indeed it is not, nor is it known the fate of the first comic to make the connection in his act, but at any rate, ever since that terrible day, audiences have roared with laughter, even at the merest mention of the toilet paper roller controversy, said Riley. Maybe it's the word toilet, said Rachel. Maybe it's the word paper, or maybe it's the two together. But the point is that it is long past the point of having any humor at all, said Riley. So why were you two over here sniggering, said Ted. Manly and sophisticated sniggering, Ted. Well, we do not exist to mock the feeble pretensions of the unfunny among us, said Riley. Although it certainly helps to pass the time away, said Rachel. Indeed it does, but to merely mock is so derivative. We seek so much more, said Riley. We do? Expound, oh verbose one, said Rachel. Well, just in case there actually is a kernel of truth to this hobby horse of humor, we were looking about at all the people at the party and deciding if they were uppers or downers of toilet paper, said Riley. We were? And pray tell, O he of glib tongue, which hath many charms, what were we going to do with such a font of speculative conjecture, said Rachel. We actually hadn't gotten that far, actually, said Riley. Laughter. Oh, how fun. Do us, said Karen. I beg your pardon, said Riley. With Ted and me, who is the upper and who is the lower, said Karen. You mean you actually know and care about each other's toilet paper habits, said Riley. Oh, absolutely, said Karen. Well, having just met you and looking at you, I would say that you, Karen, are an over person in general, and you, Ted, are an under, said Rachel. Exactly right. God, he is so anal about it. When we visit my parents, my mom practically has to go to every bathroom in the house to make sure that the paper is coming off the roll the right way, said Karen. Oh, really, Ted? Now I actually do find that interesting, said Riley. Well, it is not interesting, actually, but it just makes more sense to have the paper come from the bottom, said Ted. And why is that? Said Riley. Well, you have to expend less energy to tear off the paper off the roll because the paper is much more likely to be hanging down, said Ted. Oh, I see. Said Riley. Furthermore, taking the paper from the bottom of the roll makes it easier to get the precise number of squares required, said Ted. Precise numbers? Ted? Laughter, said Karen. Well, I mean, it is not really important, but depending on the different variables involved, it is important to get the right number of squares necessary to get the job done without wasting any, said Ted. Laughter. Waste. So toilet paper waste is an issue for you, said Riley. Laughter. Well, not an issue per se, but it is better to conserve rather than run out at an inappropriate time, said Ted. Oh, I see. Thank you, said Riley. Karen, you wish to respond? Said Rachel. Laughter. Why, thank you, Rachel. God, I so wish we had had this conversation earlier. Ted, I don't know what to say. Okay, first of all, it takes no more energy to take the paper off the top than it does to fumble and find it in the back. And second of all, wasting toilet paper? Are you nuts? Is there a looming paper shortage I am aware of? Where has been CNN while all this has been going on? Laughter, said Karen. Laughter. I suppose this might not be the best time to mention I like to fold the squares into smaller squares. It gives greater strength with fewer total number of squares used, said Ted. Oh, I don't know, Ted. Have you done any scientific studies on this particular phenomenon? Said Riley. Laughter. Not scientific in the strictest sense of scientific, but I think it is a well-established physical principle that objects bound together in a regular or precise pattern are stronger than items thrown together randomly, said Ted. Laughter. Like the faces thing, said Rachel. Yeah, there's a reason it's on the dime, said Ted. Pause. Anyone like to tackle the toilet seat issue? Said Riley. Laughter. I think I will pass on that one, said Ted. Laughter. You know, this sort of reminds me of something else, said Rachel. Go right ahead, said Karen. I mean, in terms of reference, which always gets a laugh, but long ago ceased to be funny. I mean, it is used as sort of a shorthand for a lazy writer. Insert joke here, said Rachel. Which one is that, honey? Said Riley. Bill Clinton and sex, said Rachel. Oh yeah, said Karen. Big time, said Ted. I mean, how many years has it been? I mean, I had hoped after the impeachment thing that they would lay off it already then after he left office. But no, and any sexist joke invoking oral sex or dirty old men, insert Bill Monica reference. The Iraq War was not enough to knock it from its hallowed place in the pantheon of no longer funny references. I ask you, what is it going to take to never hear another Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, oral sex, dirty old man joke ever again? Said Rachel. Nice rhetorical flourish there at the end, honey, said Riley. Thank you, said Rachel. Probably why Hillary lost, said Karen. Of course, it's because of Bill she did so well in the first place, said Ted. What one hand giveth, the other hand taketh away, said Rachel. Well, in regards to Bill Clinton and sex jokes, well, honey, never. Bill Clinton and sex has two things going for it: sex and tweaking authority. Sex jokes and its related genre, fart and bathroom humor, have been around since people started having sex and pooping. And mocking authority, probably the first time someone set himself up as an authority figure and then did something really stupid, said Riley. Like the guy who instituted a mandatory tribal-wide no rock in front of the cave policy and then stubbed his toe on a rock in front of the cave, said Rachel. Yeah, that one got laughed for generations, said Riley. Ha ha, Grog think he's so smart, then hop around like a one-legged baboon. Ha ha, said Karen. Yeah, so then all anyone had to say was Grog and his rock, and the audience would go absolutely nuts for hundreds of years, said Riley. So what is the solution? Said Karen. Well, think. What finally put an end to the Grog and his rock was ... said Riley. No more Grogs, said Rachel. Close. No more rocks on the street. The solution there was asphalt. Once the components of the cultural reference does not resonate, then the cliche as a whole does not work. So, the solution to Bill Clinton and sex jokes is obvious, said Riley. Elucidate of that rattles in your brain, all-knowing one, said Rachel. stop having sex, said Riley. What? Said Karen. Why? Said Rachel. Well, what causes sex jokes? Sex. If we all stop having sex, there would be no sex jokes sooner or later, that is, said Riley. Laughter. So, by extension, if we do not want to hear any more bathroom humor jokes, said Rachel, we stop pooping. Yes, exactly. Or stop having 6 to 14-year-old boys running around, said Riley. Of course, with no sex, that would be less and less of a problem in about 6 to 14 years, said Rachel. Same thing with fart jokes. Eliminate the phenomenon, and you will eventually eliminate the problem, said Riley. You are so freaking brilliant, honey, said Rachel. Thank you, he said modestly. It is nothing, really, said Riley. Freaking indeed, Riley, but I think you are neglecting one part in your analysis, said Ted. Oh, what is that? Said Riley. Well, you originally suggested the problem with Bill Clinton jokes was both the sex and authority aspects, but your solution addresses only one half of the equation, said Ted. Damn, Ted, you really do pay attention to everything, don't you? I try, said Ted. Good point, Ted. So you are suggesting that we give up sex, going to the bathroom, ... said Rachel. Farting, said Karen. And discarding a social and political structure based on hierarchy and authority, just so we don't have to endure Bill Clinton sex jokes, said Rachel. Pause. Sounds good to me, says Riley. Absolutely, said Karen. If that's what it takes, said Ted. Kinda too bad about sex, though. Well, maybe just giving up oral sex would be enough. Well, that was the distinction that Clinton tried, said Riley, and we all know how well is went over, said Rachel. But it's for the greater good, don't you know, said Ted. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind, said Rachel. Of course, on the plus side, no bathroom and bathroom humor also means no toilet paper or toilet seat issues either, said Riley. My glass half full hero, said Rachel. Talk about a great twofer, said Karen. Amen to that. Well, Rachel, it has been very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming, said Ted. It has been very nice to meet you too, Ted, said Rachel. I should get back to mingling among the other guests. Make yourself at home and see you back at the office, Riley, said Ted. Thanks, Ted. It's been a swell party. Thanks for the invitation, said Riley. No problem, said Ted. It has been so much fun meeting you too. Have fun with the toilet paper game. You two are just the best, said Karen. Well, it's nice to see you again, Karen, said Riley. Yes, it has been fun. Good luck with the Facebook musician thing, said Rachel. Oh, thank you. Check it out. Oh, Ted is over there and needs me. Got to run. Bye, said Karen. So, that was interesting, said Rachel. So, that is Ted, said Riley. And that is Karen, said Rachel. The overs and unders. So, what did you think of Ted? Said Riley. I can see why you hold him in the esteem that you do, she said diplomatically. In the house of Ted, said Rachel. It's obvious he's such a ... Hey, ouch! That hurt. How can you do that without seeming to move a muscle? Said Riley. You should know by now I am a woman of many talents, dear, but at least someone has taught him how to be a good host. He mingles well and has plenty of good things to eat and drink, said Rachel. It was probably his mom. Hey, ouch, that hurt. Where does that come from? I mean, just because you are not a mama's girl doesn't mean that he can't be a mama's... Ouch! That hurt again, said Riley. Then just smile and change the subject, Riley. Be a good boy and now eat some of this yummy food. End of chapter 36. Pass the damn salt, please. The Party. Rachel and Riley, Part 12. Written by Dan McLaughlin and read by Dan McLaughlin.